AI and no code, the new operating system for work. So we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is becoming the engine behind modern no-code platforms, streamlining repetitive tasks, of course, and enabling smarter decision-making across departments. From embedded copilots to generative AI integrations, let's discuss how we leverage Gen AI for intelligent workflows, the role of AI copilots in the non-technical teams, and the future of work without work through no-code and AI. So I would like to call upon our moderator, the AI solutions architect at Dubai Police, Hisham El Amir. Welcome, Hisham. Our panelists, we have Xavier Gorriz Torner, the VP of Business Intelligence, Data Engineering, and AI at Deriv. Welcome, Xavier. The Group Head of Digital Transformation, AI, and Robotics at the Kanoo Group, Kevin Neogy. Neogy or Neogy? Neogy. Neogy. Mr. Ram Jalan, Director, Digital Transformation, Customer Experience, AI Innovations. Welcome, Mr. Ram. John Mosaad, Senior Digital Transformation Specialist at Confidential. Welcome, John. And the Head of Transformation at Wathba Insurance, Aeon Raza. Welcome, welcome. All right, Hisham, please pay attention to the timer. Let's turn on their microphones.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our entitled event, AI plus no code. Thank you for, and welcome to our gentlemen. So basically, AI now shaping our future. It's now not the AI itself, not the tools that shaping the future. It's not the obstacle right now. Our imagination is. So we need to reshape how we think, how we can use the AI into our life, into the strategy, into the corporate itself to enhance, motivate our teams to produce more and be more productive using the AI plus no code, because now it's not an obstacle anymore to use AI. It's not about the technical team to use it. Anyone can use it. So how our corporates will use it, that's what we will know. So first of all, let's welcome our gentlemen, those guys who not only watching this shift, they are shaping it. Because those guys who are seriously working on the AI plus no code and use it to empower the corporate and enterprises. So welcome again. My first question to Mr. Xavier: how the convergence of AI and no code changing the way data-driven decisions are made across the business?
Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. From my side, for example, I work a lot with the data, and data will be a topic that I imagine that we will be discussing a bit, because it's getting more and more important over time, and more with AI. And one of the things that we saw is that data will become more, instead of ad hoc request, I need this data now, and waiting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever time in each one of the business, it will be something that it will come to you directly. And then we will move from BI request to a more self-service intelligence. And this AI is fundamental. I am starting to see this trend inside of my company. And for example, it's good. I was seeing what it was just presented a few minutes ago, is that, for example, what we are doing internally is you can query the data, you can get the data, have a conversation with an AI bot, and it will tell you wherever you want. I want to know how many people has signed up in my company the last 6 weeks. He will give me the data from it, and it will do some insights from it, and it will even tell me what actions I should be doing, because it will have context of my data. That's something that we are working on. Same with reports and dashboards. You are now requesting your reports and dashboards. It takes a while to get all the requirements and everything, and sometimes you don't even get what you want. What we are doing is that we have another AI agent that goes and create the data on the dashboards and reports that you need to answer the questions that you have. And this is just the beginning. On the future, it will be more and more, and all the data will come to you to your mail with actions and with exactly what you need to know from the business and how it is or what is happening. Now it's a lot about discoverability, going around the data, the dashboards, and trying to understand what is going on your business. In the future with AI, this will be done by you, by the AI, and it will reach you exactly with what you need to do. And this is what we are trying to do internally in our company. And we are starting to see the first big impacts on the way to move forward and how fast we are with that and with AI help.
Thank you, Xavier, very much. You have set the stage for the folks, actually, because collecting data and the data intelligence is not about the technical teams anymore. It's about the decision and for the whole enterprise. So my question for Kevin, how do AI embedded no-code platforms enable business agility to empower non-technical teams to innovate?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah barakatuh. So I can talk about from our company perspective, right? The Kanoo Group, which is a very diversified organization into the very legacy organization as well, about 136 years old, started our operations in 1890, spread across the Middle East region. So in our organization, we have implemented a low-code, no-code platform. And we have enabled this concept of citizen development once we enable this platform. So what we have seen is that this has really enabled businesses to, they have initially been hesitant how to go about using this platform. But once we have taken them on this journey, we have shown them how to use the platform. They have really taken it like a duck takes to the water, to say the least. And now they are driving the development on this platform more than us. So we are like the co-pilot for the business. So it's really like co-creation. So we are seeing huge benefits, to say the least. What it's helping is it's cutting down the whole development cycle. So businesses don't need to come to IT with the traditional requirements. They are the requirements. They are basically developing the apps themselves with the right guardrails. So what we have done is obviously set up the governance, the guardrails. We are currently co-creating with them. We haven't like completely, let it loose, if you like, 100% citizen development. We are currently doing the co-creation model so that we kind of take them on the journey with us. But we have seen significant improvements in terms of, faster turnaround times with regards to release of new processes, apps, etc., going to production. And the biggest change or the advantage we have seen, which is really giving us a lot of benefits, is the adoption and change management. Simply because the business is developing them with us, the requirements are coming from them, they have a stake in this thing, right? So they are owning this. It is their own baby, right? So we don't have to invest in doing the change management and adoption. This, in my view, is the game changer. We don't have to worry about whether they will use it, because as IT or digital, we always worry about, okay, is it going to deliver the return on investment or not? And return on investment will only come if that is being used. If it's never used, it becomes a warehouse of unused data, or, we always think if you build, they will come. In this case, this is a practical experience. We don't have to worry about that, because if they are building it, they are using it. So this is the biggest advantage we are seeing with this approach.
Thank you very much. So you said it right when you mentioned the chain of management and the adoption of AI, because this is what gives the enterprise the agility to move faster with AI and no code. So it's not about the agility, also it's about how the customer benefits this transformation. So my question is for how can combining AI and no-code tools help reimagining customer journey and deliver more personalized digital experience?
Good afternoon, everyone. That's a great question.
Thank
I
you.
think with the coming together of AI and low code, what we are seeing is the personalization is shifting from segmented silos to seamless and personalized journeys. And this has impacted in three areas very powerfully. First is the static funnels have been replaced by dynamic journeys where you can visually orchestrate the entire customer journey and where the journey is designed based on certain signals. One could be the intent signal, second could be your propensity score, or it could also be a lot of behavioral insights. Secondly, we need to be very cautious when we talk about AI or low-code together because these are two distinct approaches. We can't say that one can merge into each other. I think AI is very good for heavy lifting when you have to work on a lot of data and derive deep analytics out of it. That's where AI has come to fruition, and the mature stage of AI would be starting from generative AI to retrieval AI and to automated AI, which we also call self-autonomous or agentic AI levels. Now, when AI gives you all that information, you can use low-code platforms to take those inferences and create the right visualizations in near real time. I remember when I started working on platforms like Adobe Campaign Cloud, everything was a release window. Either I had to go back to the Adobe team or I had to go back to my IT team to put those journeys into production. But I think today it's all drag and drop across a lot of brilliant low-code platforms. And third, and very large advantage is for hyper-personalization across omni-channel. Once you have the data, once you have the scoring, you can always use the right CMS, and the headlet CMS is proven to be very good orchestrator in that regard to give personalized content and AI-generated videos to your audience across the customer journey. I'll give you an example. With an oil and gas company, the biggest challenge was that they were bidding for RFPs. It's an engineering company in oil and gas space, not an oil and gas company by itself, and they provide services. So when they filled up the RFPs, that was a process which is a procurement process, But the business expects how are you going to solve their problem, which is defined through RFPs. Now what this company did, they built a small low-code platform where they would upload the RFP. RFP would extract the right intelligence, using the right intelligence, the right requirements, and then it will put it into the video AI system to create videos to present how the company's services can solve that problem. Imagine if you would have to give it to a video editing team, you first have to explain them across each term, which is part of the RFP. Now, your low-code platform can solve that entire orchestration in near real time. Consciously, I'm not saying no code. I think we should not talk about getting into an era of no code. We all should know a little bit of coding because AI governance, AI explainability has to be a focus area for all of us because we should know how is AI drawing those conclusions and recommendations and what's the basis of that. That's an important part.
Thank you very much. Thank you for stating how the AI can set the customer journey and how we can benefit from it. So my question is to John. How can Gen AI help design and optimize the workflows and how we can use AI plus no code to design a better system?
Well, that's a very interesting question, actually. Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. The Gen AI now, it's just reached to a point where you can literally just describe what you want to build. The question here is what you really want to build. Like, do you ask yourself, like, what functionality that I need to have? So you reach to the AI, like, I need to build 1, 2, 3. So it's not what to build, it's how to build it. Is just, you can interact with the answer to the tool that it will execute it for you. The first thing, and like Mr. Ram was saying, that you have to understand what the code is written. So yeah, AI is very advanced and you can rely on it in a lot of things, but there is some parts that you really need to double check. You need to criticize the code that came out. You need to test every small detail in it, because the AI having limitations like the context window, it can hallucinate. So you need to always follow up on what it's building. Is it following your vision? Before that, before you go to all the process itself, you need to plan it, you need to write it down. After you write all the brainstorming, you ask the AI, criticize this plan. What did I miss? What is the competitors do? You need to also learn what tools, like, okay, you know how to speak with the AI, but what you gonna connect what software with what software? Like, okay, you can build it all entirely at home, like in-house, which is not ideally in a lot of cases. There is cases that with a simple API that you can finish the whole project in, like, I don't know, instead of 1 month will be two days. So you need to know what is the tools, you need to know what is the code is written, and you need to criticize the AI. You don't need to rely on it 100% blindly. You need to understand and follow up on it, so to eliminate any issues or any hallucinations.
Totally agreed with that, because for customers, we are building something. We don't want it to be cracky. We need to make it and make sure it's sustainable and reliable for our customers, and for strategic layer. My question is for you, Mr. Raza. What framework or strategies can help transformation leaders ensure AI-driven so that no-code adoption delivers sustainable and reliable products?
Thank you, Hisham. And obviously, being part of this panel has been a great honor. Obviously, continuing from what John was saying, and the question around what frameworks can be used, right, to make sure that the innovation continues, but there's no chaos at the other end, right? Because one thing with low code and no code that you want to make sure is it's a value-led transformation. The transformation initiatives or any other initiatives that people are building on low code, no code, whether it's the citizen developers or within your own development team, are driven by some value goals, right? That is the first thing. Second is to have a framework around how you can enable citizen developers to go ahead and do the innovations or implement those innovative ideas that they have, because obviously they know the business best. In the end, we always go to them to get the requirements, even if it's a traditional coded development, right? And if they could actually translate those developments into an actual, let's say, not a fully developed app, but let's say even a 50% of the application, that can actually be then handed over to the actual team who can actually put it into the operations. The idea is to make sure not to hinder innovation in any way, but to make sure that whatever has been built is properly validated, because obviously the person who's a citizen developer will not know certain security parameters that need to be there, or certain certain data-related elements that need to be taken care of in developing such an application. So to have a framework which enables this kind of development and gives the ownership to the IT to operationalize it, right? So that in the end, you have innovative ideas coming in and going through a single channel into production, right? They can do all the POCs they want and make sure that they go into. And obviously, it starts with how do you select these people, these citizen developers that are doing this? You do it through different competitions, hackathons within the organization that can enable this. So just an overall framework around how you do this, a framework around how low-code and no-code development should be managed, and put proper guardrails around this kind of development that can happen, right? Because obviously nowadays you can actually, as John was saying, that you can actually tell the tool whatever you're using. Like in my organization, we use Mendix and a couple of other tools to do this, and it is getting there. It's not almost there. It's not there entirely, but it's almost getting there, where you can actually write your code in simple English, right? And people would be able to do that in the future. So I would say a proper framework around this would help for sure.
Brilliant, brilliant. So you said it right from strategic layer. It's not about the technical teams anymore. It's about how you can use the AI plus no code and how anyone can do that. So we have approached the first round of 4 questions or 5 questions. So it's now the big question that we have. How do enterprise scale the AI plus no code to into the operating system? Because currently we used to have a software engineers to build something. So now we have the new tool, the AI plus no code. So how the enterprises uses this tool to scale the enterprise and scale the operating systems that enterprises use. So let me start with you again, Mr. Xavier. How do you envision the evaluation of AI-powered no code to influence enterprises' intelligence and strategy?
Okay, 3 years ago, I think we started a journey to bring low-code, no-code tools on our infrastructure, because we had 22 years old code, high code, with a lot of issues. Every time that we tried to deploy something, it was breaking something else. Then we started with the low-code, no-code, and the idea was that we wanted to iterate faster. That's one of the key things about low-code, no-code, is that you can iterate fast, you can do things faster, and you don't need to go and know all the greedy things that you need to know when you're coding with software engineers. We started there, and what we have now is that we are able to iterate fast. That was the point. And also, we manage the infrastructure much more easier, and we can roll out different new products and things much faster. What is helping is on the side of the software engineer. You don't need this software engineer that is super knowledgeable, that knows everything about what is going on the code. It's not that anymore. People can get up to speed much faster. They can bring their own deployments much faster. And what I see AI will improve that is that it will move this even a level up. What I mean with that is that eventually, and we are already starting seeing that, is that even the business will be able to create their own things, because it will be a conversation with an AI, and then it will create for you, for example, a workflow, an automation workflow. It will do it for you instead of going to the IT team and needing the IT team to create the workflow on NA10, for example, or Nintex or any of these tools. And we will see that moving away from the software engineers or the technical side to the business side. And this will be a shift of mentality thanks to AI. AI will bring this layer of knowledge and capabilities to the business itself, which will make things much faster. And I can see that already in my company, because, for example, just before coming here, I had a meeting with the CEO of my company to discuss exactly that. What we want is to automate the operational internal things that we are doing, instead of having 100 different people every day going to back office and checking this client and this other client, to have AI agents that do it for them. And then the workforce will move from doers to strategic thinkers, and think of what you are trying to achieve, what you are trying to improve, and then the AI eventually will do it for you.
Thank you very much, and thanks for mentioning how we should set the culture for our technical teams and for inside the enterprises to adopt the AI plus no code. And my question to you, Mr. Kevin, how does big enterprises can adopt or set the culture right for the inside teams to adopt the AI plus no code experimentation?
Yeah, interesting question. So before I answer that, I just wanted to add to what he said. So what you said is actually what is happening in our organization, as I said, that yeah, business is actually developing these workflows and automation, right? You give them the tools, the right tools with the right guardrails, they will do it, and things will move much faster. Other thing I forgot to mention that there is also a cost reduction we are seeing. We, for example, we don't have IT business analysts anymore in our team because we don't need them. Because business is directly, we don't need anyone to have the business requirements from the business, understand that and then translate to the software engineers, because business is now developing the workflows and the applications themselves on the platform. So we don't need a middleman or the middle person to do it, right? So now coming back to your question, Hasham, culture change. So culture change is an interesting one, right? Because I think we as the IT people are ourselves a little bit to blame or take responsibility in a way. I'll tell you why. Because we have this fear of losing control. Think about it for a second, what I'm saying. Because, and I'm to blame as well as the head of IT of my company, because when we first were thinking about releasing this no-code, low-code platform in our organization, I had a lot of internal pushback from my own team. And I was also having second thoughts because we were giving business the opportunity to do things which was never done in our organization before. And we were saying, is this something we should do? My team was very concerned. I was concerned as well. It was about the fear of losing control, right? We were having a lot of internal debates, deliberation about, is this the right thing to do? Because what if business does this and they make some mistakes, you know, we lose, we have security incidents, issues, you know, who will be responsible, who will be accountable, all of those things, right? But then, if we think about it, what are the positives around it? The positives I already talked about. Time, much faster iteration, the adoption, the pace of change, change management. These are the positives. So we have to think about it, weigh the positives against the risks. And to manage the risk, we have to spend time to put the right guardrails, the governance. Because the positives outweigh the risks, my view. And this is the way, you know, the competitive landscape that's out there, the days of the traditional SDLC is gone, to be very honest with you. You cannot tell the business, wait for 6 months, and you will get your app or whatever you want in 6 months. By that time, the whole world has changed. The geopolitical environment or everything is moving too fast these days. You cannot expect the business to wait for 6 months for the next app that day. You have to move fast. And if you become the bottleneck, you have finance coming to you, HR coming to you, your line of business coming to you. And if you are the bottleneck because you don't have the capacity to deliver, it's not going to work. So you have to give them the option to do what they need, putting the right governance and the guardrails, keep that watching brief so that things don't go wrong, you don't have security incidents and all. So we have to change ourselves as IT. That is the first step. And then, as I said, democratization is another thing to help culture change, because a lot of the times I see that when we enable this low-code, no-code AI platforms, we tend to do it from management perspective also. We do selectively. We do it to only managers, for example, in the organization, which in my view is wrong, because a lot of the institutional knowledge is at the grassroots level. This I've seen in my own organization, because the people who are working in the operational levels, usually these are termed as blue-collar workers, they have the most institutional knowledge, because they are working day in, day out at the grassroots level. If you give them the right tools, they know exactly where the bottlenecks are, where the problem lies. And if you give them the right tools, they can do magic. They know exactly what problems are, how that can be solved. So democratize the tools. Don't limit it to only the management people, because they don't always know what the problems are. So democratize it, allow experimentations, let people fail fast, the usual stuff. But yeah, those are the main things that should enable the culture change, I think, my view.
Thank you very much. Thank you for mentioning how we got afraid first of using or adopting such powerful tool into our culture because we failed to understand or to measure how positives and like risks into like adopting something like that. And of course, because we need to justify for our leaders how the business would like get rich using those tools. So my question to Mr. Ram, how to like our higher leaders, how we should or how we can measure the ROI or the business value of like using such a tools in our enterprises?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most pertinent question whenever you onboard a tool, ROI first. I think in next 10 years, we are looking at a lot of non-financial debt on any organization. So when I say non-financial debt, we are talking about people debt, we are talking about technology debt, and we are talking about operations debt. And with AI coming in, we are talking about the AI and the token debt. Because when we use AI for an inference or information retrieval, we use a lot of tokens, and that's an expense on the organization. Whichever tool we deploy, but we tend to miss the operational cost of running an AI tool. Therefore, whenever we pick up an AI use case, we follow a three-pronged principle. One, first, looking at the feasibility. Are we ready to embrace this use case? Second, the viability. What is the value realization we can expect out of this initiative? And third, the data readiness. Because if either of these three is not there in the organization for that particular use case, it's not a smart move to move ahead. Once it crosses this parameter, then the next important parameter is how is this implementation going to help us? Is it going to reduce our cost? Is it going to increase our revenue? Or is it going to increase our productivity? Because once we clear these three questions, then we have to look at what is the change management effort we need to place inside the organization for the digital adoption of the new tool. Do we need to do reskilling? Do we need to just plug and play and forget that it will run in the back end? And then we decide what is the technology we choose. Do we have internal technology? Do we have legacy system integrations? So, ROI is not a straight number that you put to the board or your management. I think it's a, culmination of these three matrices that gives you that number. That, okay, you're going to get 15% increase or a 30% increase. And ROI in case of AI is a changing goalpost. It's a milestone. You will look at a 5-10% success rate translating into a percentage ROI. Then as the AI confidence limit increases, you see 25%, 30%, 60%. At best, we have been able to achieve 75-77% till now. I think there is a long way to go in terms of maturity and getting ROI from AI and low-code initiatives.
Thank you very much. Thank you for like setting the matrices, the bullet points into measuring how mature we can use the AI plus no code into our enterprises. So another question that's for you, Mr. John. If I want like to adopt AI plus no code into my enterprise, what is the skill set or the mindset that I need like to build in my team?
Well, for the starters, you need to be adaptable. You need to go and test all the tools, a lot of tools. Like you can just see what is give the same prompt to several tools, see what is the outcome that comes and which one you're more comfortable with. Mostly they all will be right, but different, like it's written in a different way. That I'm speaking about like something as a general question. What you need to know is just, you need to be curious, you need to see what is the tool, get your hands dirty, just go and try it. See what is the limitation of it, how you can utilize this tool to your needs. And the most important one is just you be expert in your domain. That's the only thing that you need. As long as you're expert in your domain and you know how to speak English, then you're good to go. This is for the corporate side. Actually, it goes with also in your personal life. If you are just passionate about something, there is nothing to stop you from scaling it. You can if you're passionate in hiking, okay, you can just create, like, you can create an app, you can join like circles that they are also interested in it, you can monetize this tool, you can literally just work whatever that you like the most. This is a very interesting time that you can basically do anything. You don't need to have, you need to have like some basic skills, like how to understand the code, how, what exactly that your expected outcome, and you can just, the AI will help you on how to write it in a better way, how to scale it, and how to know everything. But the thing that comes from you is just to be an expert in one field. You'll be an expert, you know all the sides of it, and then you can just discuss it with the AI, give you a plan, criticize it. You're happy with the final plan, then go to a low-code, no-code tool, build it up, 2-3 days, you have what you want. That was easy, that was just, really, it's just, this time is just very interesting for anybody who wants just to do what they love, and they probably will get paid for it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for setting the milestones, the path, the course that I might like take for myself, like to adopt such a tool, or how I can go in the field and be an expert. So my last question is for Mr. Raza. What are the key enablers and barriers for foresee achieving the enterprise-wide adoption of AI-powered and no-code innovation into our enterprise and ecosystem?
Yeah, so I'll also go the John way to do it both for corporate and individual side. I mean, if you want to do it for your organization or your personal life, if you look at it, the organization side of things, the key things that are there is a tech architecture that supports, right, the tool that you're trying to implement. Also, that it fits in the overall enterprise architecture well enough that you don't create another tool that is going to be used for one application and then never looked at again. Because with any low-code, no-code tool, the value comes with usage. It's like a car, right? You use it once, it gives you value only for one ride, and if you use it again and again for different rides, it gives you more value. So my point of view is to have your roadmap in mind for whatever tool you end up selecting. As John mentioned, you need to spend your time to look at all the tools that are there in the market and make sure you select the right tool. That can take you a while because the way these tools are built, it's supposed to confuse you, especially from a licensing point of view, right? Sorry about the low-code guys here. Just to say that the way they license it, the way they bill you, it is confusing. And you'll need to spend some time to understand it, right? And make sure what works well for you. There are tools that work well if you're building one application which is taking care of all your business. It is a large application, complex application that is taking care of all your needs. And then there are tools which work well when it's smaller applications, right? From a billing point of view, you'll understand it 5 years later which one is better, right? Because the costing is, that's how it is done, right? So that's one of the enablers and challenges as well, right? The complexity of how they are built, and the enabler is the tech architecture, how it fits in. Second, if we come to the process point of view, right? Because this is the technology, then you come to the process point of view. You need to have those frameworks in place to make sure that the development, whatever is happening, as Mr. Kevin mentioned, the traditional SDLC is gone. You cannot tell your business that wait for 4 months or 5 months or 6 months and we'll give you what you need. But you need to have that process in place which sets the expectations right. Yes, low code, no code promises quick to market, but quick to market, how quick is it, right? You cannot ask, your business will expect delivery tomorrow otherwise, right? So you need to set up those frameworks in place which do this right, right? And set up the right priority matrices, as Ram was mentioning, to make sure that this is value-led transformation or value-led delivery that you do, right? And in the end, the last thing is people, right? You need to enable your people. There is skepticism, even now I feel, in my team as well. There is skepticism around low-code, no-code tools, right? Especially from the IT side of it, and also from the business side of it, because they don't want to take the ownership. They don't want to build something that they believe is IT's job, right? The idea is to how do you get them around to use it, right? The change management process comes in. How do you make sure that they understand how it's supposed to work, what value it delivers for them, right? And then you take it forward from there. Because I'm sure everybody agrees with me, low-code, no-code is not going to replace your developers. They're going to become more precious, right? Because their time is going to be used not only to develop, but to validate what I develop. Because in the end, nobody can trust 100% whatever the LLM or the Gen AI platform or the no-code platform is telling me, right? And me being a non-developer kind of a person, I would need somebody to validate what I've developed, right? Because there might be those loopholes that anybody can leverage against me in corporate and personal life, right? So on the personal side of it, if you go, one of the key things that you need to look at is you always have one idea in your mind that you think, if somebody could develop this, my life would be 100% easy. Now is the time that you can actually go and develop that yourself, right? So it's just put your mind to it, and I agree with John when he said that you can actually spend 2-3 days on it, maybe 1,000 dirhams on it, and you can come up with a pretty good application. Yeah, get a developer friend to kind of validate it for you, make sure it's all the holes are plugged in, test it thoroughly for a week, and you can actually put it into production and monetize it. I totally agree with that. Yeah, so those are some of the things that you need to look at. And for the low-code partners that are there in the audience, I would ask them to help us. First of all, make it a bit more easy to understand how the licensing model works, right? Second, the AI token usage. Simplify it for the customer. Make it simpler for them to understand this. Because it is right now not explainable. And if AI is used for a long time and it's not transparent and explainable, it will fail because people will start doubting it too much and skepticism will fall in. And the last point, I think, is to make it scalable for a smaller organization as well, because well-known tools right now are not really affordable for those organizations right now who want to build smaller applications and smaller use cases. Yeah, so I think that's the sum of it.
Thank you very much for mentioning that, actually, because basically we have like hundreds of tools and hundreds of use cases, and how I can choose the best tool for my use case, that's, yeah, you put the bullet points for that. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for like stating the bullet points on how I can use the best AI plus no code tools into my organization, and how I can speed up the operation of my organization into production, and how I can give a benefit to my customers based on those AI and no tools. So, anyone questions?
Thank you, Hisham.
Thank you.
Panelists, ladies and gentlemen, please give them a huge round of applause.